Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Welcome to my thoughts on the new World War II update. It's finally come to the PC after 7 days of waiting. We finally have it, and this is awesome. There are a lot of things that I love about this, and there are some things that I don't love about this, but really that's kind of minor stuff. So let's get into it. First thing I love the new divisions. This is probably the biggest thing that I really like about this. I love the divisions because they're useful now. You know, I mean, mountain infantry, sort of airborne was useful before, and obviously you would use the corresponding division for whichever weapon that you wanted. You know, you want expeditionary for the shotguns, for the fire shells, and all that sort of stuff. But now I feel like the armored division is more than just flak jacket. I feel like the expeditionary division is more than just fire shells. I feel like the airborne division is more than just a suppressor on my SMG. Obviously now, because I can have those without that specific division. But specifically, I want to look at the resistance division, because the resistance division is now like really good. It is a really stealthy build. It's really a cool kind of espionage type class. That's really cool. I think all the divisions, all the changes, all to the specific perks that they've made has been positive, has been good. I feel like now there is a reason to use every single division, and when you choose a division, it is more catered to a specific playstyle, kind of like how it was originally intended to be. I do like how you can use the bayonet, the suppressors, and the fire shells outside of the divisions. The one thing that I dislike is how you have to progress your weapon all the way up to max level and then some in order to get that. You know, the bayonet and the launcher for the rifles is like weapon level 13, 14, 15, whatever it is. That's a long time. And the suppressor for SMGs, I'm used to always having them with the airborne division, and now it's like, now I never have it because, you know, I need to unlock that. Now I'm prestiging my weapons again because, oh, that's a thing now. And it's just, it feels less balanced than it needs to be, but it's really not that big of a deal. Maybe we could have a hybrid system where if you did have the airborne division, you could use a suppressor, or if you don't have the airborne division, the attachment is there as well. I don't know, that could be a cool solution. But like I said, not that big of a deal. Another slightly negative thing that I'm going to say is the grenade spam. The grenade spam is ridiculous. I kind of got to a point beforehand where I was kind of done with grenades. If you know me for a long time, I've done videos of, you know, building my perfect Call of Duty and all that. I fail to understand and recognize the skill and tactics behind explosives. I mean, I get there's a skill, you can cook grenades, but there's no counterplay. You know, when I get into a gunfight, it's my own skill, usually. Or, you know, the skill is how I get into gunfights, controlling the engagement, that sort of thing. Or, you know, my aim and accuracy and how good I am at strafing that stuff. That's the kind of counterplay for gunfights. The counterplay for grenades is use flak jacket and stay away from the objective. And that's not a compelling or really a fun mechanic. Grenades aren't fun, and at least to me, they're not really fun to use. Obviously, if I get like a quad feed or whatever with grenade, I'm gonna laugh and think that's awesome, but really, it's because that took no skill and it just randomly happened. So I'm not really a big fan of grenades in general. And having everybody have a lethal and a tactical now, while it's good to have a more compact war class where I can have a Simtex and a smoke grenade, that's nice. When I'm getting concussed and I'm getting grenaded every single game from 6 other players, that's 12 grenades on the field that's going to stun me, or I'm going to run away from, or that's going to make me move. Especially when we talk, you know, war maps, when you're around that tank, oh, it's just crazy and chaotic. Granted, that's crazy and chaotic because that's supposed to be, I guess you could argue that. But in like the other default maps like Hardpoint, Domination, the standard modes, it can get annoying when you're trying to win a gunfight and you're worried about explosions everywhere. That's not fun and not compelling to me. So I spent the better part of my Tuesday, my day off, playing Ground War, and that is crazy and chaotic, and, you know, the grenade spam is a little bit too much, and I don't like the grenade spam. But the amount of people, the respawning, the fighting, the effort, it feels like war, and that is particularly awesome. That's super cool. You know, if you thought escorting the tank was intense with 6v6, 9v9 is amazing, and it's awesome, and I love that. I don't like their grenade spam, and there's definitely, you know, now you have 18 grenades on the field that you gotta worry about because you're playing against 9 people that all have grenades. So I don't like the grenade spam there, but the kind of emotion and the experience that you get with the ground war is amazing. And Operation Neptune, defending the bunkers, still the worst war mission I've ever played. Oh, I hate it so much. On top of this, we have a new event and more weapons. Now, I might do a video on this. This might just be my splurge or my little thing here. I miss the way we did weapon contracts before. You know, when this game first came out, I truly thought this was the best supply drop system, and it's close. The one major flaw, and really kind of the most important flaw, is the fact that if I want any given weapon, if I want a specific weapon, there's really no way for me to get it. They're doing weekly contracts for like DLC weapons, but that's weekly. I already have the GPMG, so what am I gonna do this week? I don't know. I feel like they should have a system to where you can either choose which weapon you want to go for and do a specific challenge for that, or once you complete a certain contract, you can kind of continually go through or spend armory credits to get a new contract or something like that. There just needs to be a way, even if they did a daily special contract for winning 30 games or 50 games or whatever it wanted to be for that specific DLC, for a new DLC weapon every day, that would be great because that's what we had before. You know, I personally think the best solution would be to have 2 separate special, you know, we have one special contract right now, that green contract, and it's something unique and interesting. We should have 2 of those and two different rotations of weapons or bribes or something rotating around. Start from the top, do a specific rotation, you know, and go through all of the DLC weapons so that, hey, you know which weapon you're going to get on any given day. You can log in, you can see, hey, is it a weapon I want? No, check back in tomorrow. You're not waiting forever, you're not wasting time, you're not wasting a week, and that's kind of a system they already have in place. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, we have the weapon contract system. Well, if you do the math, and if you purchased each and every single weapon of this new event, then it would cost you 125,000 armory credits. That is more than I've ever saved up, ever. And that's about as much as I've gained so far. And that is just not a viable option of gaining weapons, especially when we only have 3 weeks to open up supply drops that may or may not have content for this event. It's a weird thing, and I really dislike the way this supply drop system has gone. They've made some improvements. I do like how I'm getting less duplicates and more content, but I dislike that I cannot get specific weapons. This is really harkening back to Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3, which is not a good deal. This needs to look more like Infinite Warfare and less like Black Ops 3. Who knew anybody would say that about those games? One thing I forgot to mention, you can have a launcher now. You can have a launcher without a specific perk, and it's amazing. It's so good. It's so good. I might have gold launchers here soon, or diamond launchers here soon, just because of that. Just because I can just pop it in and do it. It's so fantastic. I love it, and it pairs really greatly with just like requisitions or Blitzkrieg, or really it just gives you more freedom. You know, this is a thing that we've always wanted. We knew the reason why we wanted it, and it is as good as we thought it would be. It's amazing. I love it so much. I think I might do a separate video on Blitzkrieg because this video is going a little bit too long, but I really love it. I love how you trade off the score for the kills. It works really well in domination. It works really well in the football game mode. What's it called? I don't know, the uplink one, you know, the uplink one, but, you know, boots on the ground. It works really well there, and I really like it. I wish that it was a point streak system, not a kill streak system. I wish collecting tags did a half a point like it did in Ghost. I wish capturing flags did as much as a point, you know, that sort of stuff. I wish taking down enemy like UAVs and stuff and kill streaks counted for, you know, points towards your point streaks, but it is just a straight up kill streak system, which I don't necessarily like, but I love the idea, and I think if we talk about it enough, I think if the community wants it enough, I think they could change it to point streaks, because this is a very, very huge deal, and I have an extra idea of kill streak stacking that I will do in a separate video, but man, I really like Blitzkrieg, and I love what it means for the game itself. This whole update, it means so much to the community because, you know, when Michael Condrey first left Sledgehammer to go to Activision, I said, you know, there's a team of people working behind him. You know, it's not just this one man's decision changing the entire game. But ever since this Aaron guy stepped in, we've gotten a lot of changes that the community have wanted, and honestly has been told by Michael Condrey that we're not getting, but we got it. The sprint out time changes, the changes to the division system. The division system, it was a great idea, but I think it's a flawed system. I don't think it's as good as Pick 10, and it's certainly not as good as the Call of Duty Ghost system of Pick 12. But it's an interesting idea, and I think it works better now in both in a user way and in the division kind of concept way. You know, you do pick a division and you do play a certain play style, and that's really nice. But I feel like these changes are kind of like, you know, separating the attachments and stuff from the divisions is kind of Aaron saying, like, we hear you, and we're going to do our best to try to change what we thought would work into what you guys actually want and what would play better and play more fun. This is why we're getting these division changes. This is why we're getting the changes to sprint out times. And this is why we've got Ground War too. Ground War is something that we were flat out told not going to happen. And it happened. And it's really nice to see that this game now is even better than it was at launch. I said at launch that this was a top 3 Call of Duty for me. That is still true to this day. Call of Duty Ghost, Modern Warfare 3, emotionally, in my opinion, are better. I still think Call of Duty Ghost is the best Call of Duty, but this is really getting up there, and this update makes it so much better. This update is so freaking fantastic. But just to be sure, I'm going to throw in a hashtag buff the footsteps and hashtag requisitions is just fine. I think it is possible for a game to be good even after its launch day. I know some people are like, oh, it's too late for this game to be good now, but that's not really fair to say. You can't say that. I mean, a game has to be judged by its own merits, and if it takes an update or something to change in order to get it to be a better game or a good game, that is what it takes, and I cannot take anything away from World War II for taking this long. I can criticize the team, I can criticize the design choices, but the game itself as it is right now is great. And we also have zombie contracts. Oh man, there's so much good stuff here. It's so great. If you're one of those people that think it's too late for this game to be good, then fine, you're the one missing out. But I'll be sitting here enjoying this game. So tell me your thoughts on the update in World War II. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.